Well, it's a big day today. I mean, huge, big day today. Jen put on makeup. So did I, but I've had the same makeup on for about 7 decades.
No, actually, I only put on Justin Benton's Raw Renew. I didn't even put on makeup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Justin gets an early shout out. That's nice.
This stuff is amazing, ladies.
Yeah. We're going to address all comments at the end of my talk today. We're going to be doing Sell or Die live in about 2 minutes. But in the meantime, if you have questions about the podcast, put them in there and I will try to address them as we're going forward. Can you see all the comments as well, Jen?
Yeah, I can see the comments.
Okay, so
Larry, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And the Git and Gaboodle, that is classic. You see Fitzgerald underneath Larry?
Yep.
Very well done. Yeah. Very well done. Okay, so guys, good morning. Welcome to Sell or Die, and yet another episode. It is the long-standingest sales podcast on the planet. It's approaching 3 million downloads. We are rocking in the free world. And today we're going to talk about your book that's not done yet. In the comments, put a 1 in the comments if you said to yourself, one day I'm going to write a book. Even if you're in the middle of your book, put a 1 in the comment if you say, someday I'm going to write a book. And you're going to be amazed at how many people put a 1 in the comments. It is literally all over the place. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, now
on Die Hard, if you're listening on the podcast and not on our Facebook Live, I'd like you to think about: did you ever tell yourself that you're going to write a book?
Now you got your 1s in there. There's tons of 1s. Okay, good. Put a 2 in the box if your first chapter is written. All you 1ers. And I'm only challenging you. This is for you. 1 in the box if you're going to write a book. 2 in the box if your first chapter is written.
For those who are listening, I just want to comment that we had tons of 1s. Like, I can't even count them how many. And we have about 3 2s. So it'd be interesting for you to think about, if you've told yourself, I want to write a book, have you started
4
that
2s so far? 4 2s, 5 2s, 6 2s.
We got a 0.
Yeah, we got a couple of zeros, right? Okay, but this is the deal. Are you taking notes? Are you putting yourself into a position where you could write a book? Are you collecting information? Do you have a separate file for your book? Come on. This is an important part of the process. Someday I'm going to write a book. Did you see Hazel's comment?
Yeah, so he said, that's the name of my
book. Someday I'm going to write a book. A procrastinator. That's brilliant, by the way. As usual, Pat Hazel brilliance. In a file folder. It almost counts, but not quite. Now, we just had a writer's weekend. Several people came to talk about writing their book. And we actually got a title, a subtitle, a table of contents, and front matter put into the 3-day weekend. And we met with some publishers. It's literally an amazing thing. I'm going to go over some fundamentals with you. Jen and I are going to talk about, do you really want to write a book? The first thing you need to know is, what the hell's the title? Because that's going to give you an idea of what has to go in the content. And that title may also be your brand. When Jen's book was Sales in a New York Minute, well, that's her brand. And it corroborated everything about what she was trying to do and who she was trying to reach. I think she went to get a copy. There you go. Right. And it's got 212 on the cover, which is the area code of New York City. I mean, it's very, very well thought out and very, very well designed, because now in today's world, you have to have a brand and content. You just can't have one or the other.
So we have a lot of salespeople, Jeffrey, who might be listening thinking, well, why do I need to write a book? I sell things. Why do I need to write a book? What's that going to do for me?
It may do nothing if your book is shitty, but it can do something. If your book is great, then you advance up the scale. When I I was an expert in selling. When I started writing, I became an authority. So if you want to go from expert to authority, book is your image. And keep in mind, you can now broadcast everywhere. You can do LinkedIn Live. You can do Facebook Live. You can do Insta. You can post your book up in your, I mean, it's unbelievable what you can do. Ebook, video book, any kind of thing on your YouTube channel. When I was writing, it was like you put your column in the paper and that was it. So I'm challenging you. There are multiple opportunities for you to express yourself and feel damn good about response. People are going to click. If the right words are in there, people will click, they will find you, and they will comment. That's the deal. And when they do comment, that's a prospect. Go ahead, Jenny.
Jeffrey, when you started writing, did you always know that you were going, like, did you set out with an intention to write a book?
No. I started writing a column in the paper, and after the third column, I go, wow, if I have 100 of these, I think I got a book. I didn't write a book. I wrote a column. The column turned into a book. And it's been that way. I wrote that column for 15 years. So now I have literally a wealth of content that I haven't used yet about various subjects. And some of those went into the attitude book. Some of those went into the trust book. Some of those went into the little green book of getting your way. But whatever it was, there was always content for me to add into the book because I already had a basic library of stuff on various subjects.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing the book does for you, like, let's talk about that. So you didn't realize you were writing a book. You just started writing, started following your passion, and it created clarity of thought, right? It allowed you to really figure out what it is you wanted to say, how you wanted to say it, because you were spending time thinking, spending time writing. And then when it's birthed, when it arrives in the box and there's a cover and it's all put together and it looks finished, it's like a door opener. It's a calling card. It's just way better than cold calling 500 prospects a week. Yeah, I'd rather send you.
Here's my piece of shit business card, or here's my autographed book. Which do you think is going to get the attention of, and salespeople typically, well, I don't need a book. Yes, you do. Well, I don't think yes, you can. It's all a matter of your own dedication. You're pissing your time away watching some stupid ass Netflix show at night and drinking a beer. You should be writing. To me, it's all a matter of your desire. If your desire is to drink beer and watch Netflix, rock the house. Someone else will be cleaning your clock every single time. So while you're watching Netflix, I'm writing my 18th book.
It's interesting because someone at the Writers Weekend this past weekend, we have writers here at the beach and we help them get their book off the ground. And someone asked, how much revenue can you contribute to your book?
I put a slide up in a deck that I was showing. March the 23rd, 1992 was the first day my column appeared in the Business Journal. Since that date, every single penny that I have earned, millions of dollars, I can trace back to something that I wrote. Every speech, every book, every podcast, everything I've ever done, I can trace back to something that I wrote. I have a foundation of written wisdom that I use for everything that I do. And I did that in exchange for watching whatever was on Thursday night at 9:00. You can't do both.
And I think it's so interesting.
Hang on a second. And with all respect, due respect to Glenn Morshower, who is an absolute classic, I recommend that you binge watch 24 and then you watch The Resident in its entirety. There you go, Glenn.
And then other than that, turn off your TV.
Right.
No, so what I was going to say is that a lot of salespeople don't want to take the time to write a book. Like they want to just be out there selling and they don't recognize the fact, or they're not willing to admit to the fact that the book is going to make it easier for you to get in more doors. The book is going to make it easier for people to view you with instant credibility, not just like, oh, let me go in and try and build my credibility and show how great my company is and show how great our products are. No, you wrote the book on manufacturing. You wrote the book on whatever. And now people, it's like an automatic, I don't know, people perceive you differently. It's really crazy.
Think about it this way. You walk in on a cold call. You're talking to the gatekeeper. You have your piece of shit business card with you and say, I'd like to talk to the person in charge of, and whatever it is, they're busy. Or you can walk in and say, hey, I'm really proud of my new book. It's perfect for your CEO. Here's a signed copy for him or her. And I was wondering if you could take it to him, let him know I'm in the lobby. Not what's this call in reference to, he's busy right. No. I guarantee you that guy will come out for a signed book. I guarantee. And thank you. And then you give one to the gatekeeper. Come on. This is the perfect cold call. Or you can watch Netflix like an idiot. That's all I'm saying. Now, these are choices. You make your own choices. You make your own bed every day, I hope. But the bottom line is I'm in a library, our own library here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my books are in my own library. Is that cool or what? So what's in your library? What do you wish was in your library? What are you willing to work for to be in your library? If you want, you can go to helpme@gittimer.com, helpme@gittimer.com and say, I want more information and we'll get it to you. You want to come to the writers?
It would be sending an email to helpme@gittimer.com. Jeffrey, I love you. You have a habit of telling people to go there. There is no there. So just email.
I see.
Email helpme@gittimer.com. Email.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're interested in this Writers Weekend. So let's go over some of the things that you really need to think through when you're writing a book so that people who, aren't yet ready for the Writers Weekend or are considering it, but anyone who really wants to write a book can get value out of this episode and take away
Question one. What do you want to write about? Where do you feel your expertise is? Where is your, quote, zone of genius?
Yes.
It's probably not making cold calls, but it might be. Maybe you're great at it. Maybe you're looking at it from the perspective of, I want to help more people make better cold calls, and I want to write a little ebook on cold call. But whatever it is, brain dump everything you know. Put a title in, put a subtitle in, and after you brain dump everything you have, try to look at it from a standpoint of what's the table of contents going to look like. You do those 4 things: brain dump, title, subtitle, table of contents, and you're on your way. You don't do that, you'll be a mishmash forever. Well, I have a bunch of notes that I've collected. Great. Make a title, make a subtitle, make a table of contents. Now you're 4 steps into the book.
When you make the table of contents, then you can start to see what's missing. What do you have that flows really well? Like when you look at through any book, like you can see where they're going with it, right? And so when you're looking at your own table of contents, if you were the reader, always thinking about it from the reader's shoes, what's missing? What do you have to add? What do you need to fill in? Maybe you've already written stuff. Maybe you've already written stuff on Instagram as captions or on Facebook as little vignettes, but maybe you have stuff, maybe you have content that you don't even, or on LinkedIn, maybe you have content that you don't even realize that you could pull into the book.
I'm going to tell you that when you decide you're going to write a book, you've probably looked at another book that is a model for you. I used Harvey Mackay Swim with the Sharks because they were 2-page, 70 or 80 2-page pieces. And they were brilliant. And I thought, man, I'm going to write like that. He was my inspiration. And then I read Thinkertoys by Michael Mahako, and I go, I got to have some design in the book because this is an absolute. So Harvey Mackay, Michael Mahako, and my original inspirer, Ken Artis, who I went to high school with, those were the people that got me off the ground. And my father and brother, who both wrote very concisely. So think about the people that are your models. Think about the people that you want to emulate or duplicate or replicate. No plagiarizing. And put yourself in the position of using that as your basis for kind of moving forward. You have a platform. Take the platform. Take the shot.
Jeffrey, we have a great question here from Justin. What do you think holds most people back from writing the book we all have inside of us? Now that makes an assumption that we all have a book inside of us. So let's start with that. Do you think that?
No, I think this is what I think. Most people procrastinate and wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow is TFL. Too fucking late. And I'm just challenging you. This is you. This is everything that you need to be able to put together for yourself. And if you're not willing to allocate the time for that, it's not dedicate the time, it's allocate the time. I'm going to wake up in the morning, and every morning from 9 until 9:20, I'm going to write. That's it. If you don't dedicate that time, it will never get written because you don't have enough time. Like, I know what I got to do now, but in the beginning, I allocated time. I was writing a column that had a Friday deadline. If you have a Friday deadline, dude, you better have it done by Thursday. Hello? Crazy.
So I want to answer that question as well. I think that everyone does have a book inside of them. I think that from the time we are kids, we're taught to learn and listen through story. And I think as we grow older, we develop stories our entire lives, stories that stick with us, stories that shape us, stories that determine who we are and who we're going to be. And those stories have value because those stories often, they may not start with once upon a time, but they all end with some sort of lesson or opportunity. And so I think that within each of us, there is a book. But the reason that so many people don't write books is because of limiting beliefs that they have of themselves. For example, who am I to write a book? Why would anyone want to read what I have to say? Or am I expert enough to really write the book on whatever that may be? And we get these thoughts that get in our way, or I don't have any stories. I don't have stories to tell that could be valuable. Yes, you do. You all do. You have conversations with people on a daily basis. Are those conversations not valuable? No, of course they are. So of course you could put those words onto pages. And the thing is, when you start with a blank page, it's very overwhelming. And it's very like, oh my God, I have to make this whole page, filled in. And I think that becomes more difficult. So Jeffrey has a trick that I learned from him. And he doesn't start with a blank page, at least not through the keys and typing. He starts with his voice. Yep. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Sure. I text myself. I use Dragon for Mac. I don't type. Typing's a waste of time, and I'm not very fast at it, so I just use voice to text. You can probably use Siri. I don't yet because I'm still using my own voice to text program. But the challenge is this: when you're talking, you don't have to think about where the keys are. And your stream of consciousness is much clearer. Now, on next week's Sell or Die, we're going to talk about how to create your stories, because I think that's as equally as important as writing the book. But for the moment,
and we could even take that into your stories that sell, because your stories are what are selling your prospects. Before we end, Jeffrey, I just want to say one more thing. One thing that got me going, if you're really trying to start writing, start getting your ideas out there, I found that there was too much pressure if I was just sitting at my keyboard, like trying to type away. And I just felt like this just enormous amount of pressure. And so I started walking, which is obviously healthy anyway. And I started talking to myself. And I would just record everything I was saying. And then I would go back home and get it transcribed. And obviously it wasn't perfect, but when you're walking, there's a science to it. You're actually thinking about, and we so funny. A doctor told us about this yesterday, but I had already known about it. There's a science about the fact that you're thinking, put my left foot, then my right foot, don't trip, don't, miss that hole over there. You're thinking about other things. So your brain is not being used to overthink and second guess yourself. That part that is normally spent on, is this good enough? Will people relate to it? Is this the thing I should be writing? All those like what if kind of limiting belief kind of questions, those go out the door because you're paying attention to where you're walking and you're talking to yourself. And so now you're just getting into the flow and into a stream of consciousness. And for me, that's been incredibly helpful to my writing. So hopefully that'll help you guys.
Next week, we're going to talk about what you need to talk to yourself about while you're walking to create your stories. But for now,
until next time, I'm Jen Gittimer.
I'm Jeffrey Gittimer. I'm reminding you to get out there and sell something or write something, even if your ass falls off. All right. That was a good one. And thank you very much. There's so many comments that I lost the first few. So if you were the first one on, I apologize. I'll get you tomorrow. We're starting with Kevin, the whole Git and Caboodle, and Stuart from Mount Pleasant, who we've yet to hook up.
Stuart, I'm down the road. I'm in IOP right now.
Exactly. Another little book. Look at this.
Is today a giveaway day, Jeffrey?
Yeah, today we're going to give away. You know what? We're going to give the Go Live book to Stuart Kimball, but he has to pick it up.
Oh,
and that way we get to meet him, and we'll crap around from there. You got it, Stuart. You're the winner today of number 3 in the Go Live series of 16 books, March the 3rd. That's how I always know what day it is. And it'll be waiting for you in Shipwatch, but we can meet you someplace, indiscreet, if you don't want to be seen with us in public. We could pass it off in the Target parking lot or something. And we'll look forward to it. So Stuart is the winner today. And Jenny, I'm removing you from the show. You can go about your business.
I want to comment on people's stuff.
Oh, all right. Okay, so let's do that. This is a great quote, by the way, from Thomas from Sweden, of course. All of these pieces are so damn good, aren't they?
Love that. Yeah,
I know. Morning, guys. As an Eagles fan, I never thought I'd say this. Go Texas. Oh, my God. I think it's because they dropped all the mandate bullshit. But who knows? If you can make them laugh, you can make them buy. Exactly right. Morning to you. Bradley Beck. The great Harvey McKay. Oh, my God. Be like a postage. What?
I can't. I think you might have skipped this one on accident, but Renee was asking, where does she get the Raw Renew? Oh, and this is from 101 CBD. This is Justin's product. It's amazing. You can put it all over your face.
put in the chat.
Okay. I don't know if I can. Let's see.
Toru is here, but his picture that StreamYard is so stupid. Cleveland is here. Okay. Look at all the ones. 1-1-1-1-1. Oh, Dave Henderson is here. All the people. Boom, 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 boomity, boom, boom, boom. 1-1-1. Couple of twos. Toru came back on. That's cool. Hey, Toru, your book is going to go out today. Toru was the winner of number 1. We're sending the book all the way to Japan. I love it. And this is a classic comment, by the way. Pat Hazel always, someday I'm going to write a book. A procrastinator. That's so good. Yes, I'm willing to do it with you, but if you don't want me, I can totally understand that too. Don't wait for extraordinary. Seize common occasions. Exactly. Weak men wait for opportunities. Strong men make them. JR from the Charlotte metropolitan area. Aha. What are called new views here in New England at the present time, they're not new. They're the oldest thoughts. That's so good. Randall, that is so good. We have to save that one, Jenny. El Perfecto Mundo. Well done. Well said. Well done. Separate file, yes. Dan, go for it, bud. 50-page since February 1st. Good. That's so good. That's so good. Good morning, 659ers. Where do I get Raw Renew? That's the woman that wants Raw Renew. Glad we can inspire you. So glad we can inspire you. Canada's here. Oliver's here. Boston is here. I mean, all these people. Walls is here. Look at all the people we got on this morning. At one point, there was more than 100 people on.
I love it.
We must have bored the shit out of them because some of them left. For salespeople, you're not writing a book. You're writing a big, fat calling card. Exactly. It will go play. Yeah. Yep. A big, fat calling card. I totally agree. You can put your business card in there and say, use this as a bookmarker. I mean, that's the way to go. Correct?
Yep.
Wonderful, Jen.
Aww.
Wonderful kid. There you go. And all the people that are here today, come on, I should have journaled what I've been, exactly. People need to hear my story. They do. They do, Paul. They do, Paul. New Delhi is here. Relaxed and profound ideas. You are exactly correct. Why men procrastinate. Subheading, if we only understood the power of yes, dear. That's funny. That's absolutely funny. I love the cover of your book. I'll be buying it. There you go. Jen made a sale this morning.
Thank you.
Writing a book is the best thing I've ever done for my business and brand. I concur. I totally concur. What if you write a daily column and post it on LinkedIn just to get started? Best way to do it. Totally best way to do it.
And can I just say something about this? What's really cool about this is you get instant feedback to what people relate to. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if people relate to this, just try it. Who cares? Just put it out there.
Can I drink a beer and write a column? Yes, you can. If you want to write a shitty column and spill your beer all over stuff. Just my opinion. Clarity is required for writing. Unless you're Ernest Hemingway. And even he wrote first thing in the morning so we could drink in the afternoon. I think most of this audience is on Facebook Live. Maybe, but we don't know. We don't know where they come from. 29 years ago. Wow. Yep. You have plenty of time to watch TV when you retire. That's correct. Once you write a book, you'll have something you can sell that you believe in. Oh, my God. That's so true. That is so true. Unbelievable. So, Martin, yep. Coachman, my book is about my mom, just for family and friends. If I were to write another book, it would be about music and the role it's played in my life. The title would be The Soundtrack of My... Whoa!
Oh, cool.
That's a real good one. That's a real good one. And you can go from sharp to flat and back again.
Oh my goodness! And each chapter could be like a song, like how they list it on a album.
B flat, yeah, because songs are written in a key of. Or you can watch Netflix like an idiot. Exactly. Your books are in my library too. Thank you, Joachim. Thank you so much, Joachim from Hell, Norway.
Cool.
Yep.
Can it is.
I just received my autographed copybook Go Live from my friend Mary West. Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Renee, we should connect on Clubhouse for sure.
Can you connect with somebody on Clubhouse, Jenny?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so inspired by writing story. I quit writing music and oh no. Exactly. Cindy, way to go. Cindy, way to go. Fitzgerald, whenever I walk through an airport, I stop and see if your books are being sold. If they are, I always move them to the front. Thanks. Rizzo, Steve Rizzo, who was on yesterday, signs my books and says, I know this guy, and then puts his name in them. Hello from the UK. Hello to you too. Wow, look at all the people on there this morning. It's absolutely amazing. We're already past this show time, so I don't really care. Jen, you need to set up.
I know, we will set it up because you always refer to it as a website. So we will do that. It's on our very, very long list of things to do. It'll get done.
Sneederoo, if they ask me, I could write a book about the way you. Oh my God. There's a better song though. It's When I Write a Book by Nick Lowe, sung by Dave Edmunds on Rockpile. Absolutely classic song. Yep. All the people, wow, man, oh man, oh man. Look at all these comments. Unbelievable. What's the overall investment to make a nice hardback, attractive, smart book? Will publishers invest the front money? Sometimes. If your book's good, if they think it's good. If they think your book is saleable, they will buy it. If they don't, they won't. Just that simple. If you want to do it yourself, you're probably looking at 10 grand.
Yeah, and it depends on how many books. Yeah, but it depends on how many books you want to order because you have to order them in advance.
1,000 books, 10 grand. Hardbound. See me at the end of the show. I'll show you what to do and where to go. We're all an expert at something. Exactly. I'm inspired to write about the lumber industry titled Rings, which you inspired me yesterday.
Cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I write, then edit. I never rewrite. When I write, I'm done. Then I edit. I may add some stuff, but I never. If I delete something, it's rare. I mean, it is, and I keep a file of stuff I deleted because I don't like that. It's my intellectual work. I don't want to do it.
Jeffrey, were you always like that, or did that come about because you've been writing for so long that now you have such clarity of thought that it's easier to just write and edit versus write and rewrite?
I wish I could tell you that was true, but it's not. I was always able to think in a list. I was always able to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's part of the deal.
Yeah. Because most people aren't, that's like a unique talent that Jeffrey has.
Yeah, it's true. I have a collection of poems. Sure, write a poetry book. That
would be so cool, Charles.
Yeah.
Do it.
Charles, I'm sorry.
I'm
go ahead.
challenging you to get it out there before this Christmas and give it to everyone at Christmas time.
Yeah. I want one. I'll take a signed copy. I'll pay retail. Yeah. I'll pee.
IOP. Anne Maloney is coming to our Book Writers virtual event. We're having it virtually. So if any of you guys not want to come in person, which I had, they're both great. But if you want to come virtually, let us know. Email helpme@gittimer.com. And we're so excited.
Here's Justin's link for your makeup.
And you guys, it's like a butter that you just put on your face and makes your skin so smooth and so healthy. And, on days that you don't want to wear makeup, but you just want it to like kind of glow a little bit, like this stuff is baller.
Can you put it on toast? I'm just kidding.
I think you can eat it, but I wouldn't.
From the inside out. Congrats on Go Live.
Thank you, Justin.
Exactly. Taru, thank you. It's my pleasure. Ron Goodwin. Oh, my God. Richard Greaves is here. Jeffrey got me to speak. Helped me move and write a column in 1984. Richard Greaves is smart and funny. And he is Philadelphia sarcastic, even though he's from Milwaukee. But he has had so much New York and Philly that he became a dick. And it's absolutely wonderful to see that he's arrived. His cynicism has no boundaries. He has some lines that just absolutely drive me crazy. Funny. Benjamin Franklin gets quoted. Who's next? Exactly. All right, you guys. I think we have to go now. Foghorn Leghorn gets a shout out. Oh my God.
Oh, someone's asking. Oh my God. Hold on. Joe Williams wrote something hysterical. You got to scroll down to that.
I'm going to write a book on how not to get a book banned. It's going to be entitled, You're Going to Have to Write a Boring Ass Book. Yeah. And just to make sure it's not banned, don't say Dr. Seuss. Like, seriously? What the fuck? Just unbelievable.
Someone is asking for the name of this again. It's called Raw Renew. Justin put a link for 101 CBD. And, there we go. And he just put in a code. If you use Gen 20, you get a discount. How cool is that? New word for the dictionary. Oh my God.
I would tend to. That's good. Justin, use Gen 20 for 20% off. Whoa. Jen gets her own. Oh my God.
I love it. I love it.
All right. You got everything you need now. Eric, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Philadelphia funny, even though he's from Milwaukee. All right, you guys, I'm going to go back to helpme@gittimer.com. I'm going to tell you to go to Hippo Video. I actually is there a URL for the Writers Weekend, Jen?
I don't have it offhand. If you just email helpme@gittimer.com, Lisa or I or Erica, someone will respond to you and we'll get you the application form because it is application and it's just super fun. We introduce you to our publishers. I mean, it's freaking baller. It really is. We're coming off such a high because we just had this weekend and 4 people left with new titles, subtitles, all the contents of what's going to go in their book. And I just can't, I don't know about you, Jeffrey. I can't wait to see their books become reality. Like oh my God. You made it when you have your own discount code. You know why he gave that to me? Because I'm an author.
Right, exactly.
Does Jen Bogo work too? Oh my God.
There you damn go, you guys.
Oh, man.
Until tomorrow, when I'm giving away book number 4 at 9:59 a.m. Cheer. First person on tomorrow morning gets the book. Unless you already have one. Goodbye. 9:59, health, sales, cheers, write a book.